am the Reverend Mandy Goheen. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Chattanooga. Whatever brought you here, whatever you need today, and if you don't need something spiritual, there might be an item. There's a drum. No, these are not for sale.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're welcome. It says it's branded. It says something on it already. Welcome to the space of exploring messiness and love. Welcome into sometimes discomfort. Welcome into questioning, but especially welcome if you're looking for a community to practice the love we need to share with the world. I have not asked anyone to light the chalice. It's that kind of morning. I bet Autumn, will help me light the chalice as we read the chalice lighting words together on the screen. I knew you would.
Especially since she's a leper.
That's right. Let me get you're going to have to sit on my shoulders or something. Okay. In the light of truth, in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Blow it. No wishes, sorry. You can blow this one out and make a wish. You know when you blow out a candle, you get to make a wish. So.
Yay.
Yay. So it is opening song time, and since I'm down here, I would invite people who are comfortable to rise in body and our spirit and greet your neighbors as we listen through this song a couple times. Hey, I haven't seen you. It's good to see you. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Touch it. It's touchy. Hi. Hi, Cupcake. What's my name? Brown. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Brown. My assistant. Will you help me light candles? Okay, everyone, let's sing together. be seated. You know what that means? We're going to have to sing it like 3 more times in the next month so that we really know it. We need to get used to it. I would like to invite people forward who are interested in hearing the story for all ages. And also, we have some extra folks helping me today. Test the mic, say hello. Hello. No. You gotta turn it on or something? I always do this wrong.
Hello.
There we go. We need one more. All right. We have a narrator. My special guest today, you're a narrator. All right.
Where's my
Oh, are we sharing?
No.
Oh. Uh-oh. Those are your lines. I can share with you. Here. I don't need the microphone. Oh, there's more lines. Okay. Woo, this has been a day already. We only just got started, but this is such a cool story. And my friend, the Reverend Tiffany Sapp, just wrote this, and she's been here before and guest preached, so pretty excited about it. All right, narrator, take it away.
Once upon a time, there was a golden retriever named Carl, and he was a very good boy.
We have microphones. You just have to. Oh, I am. Ever since I was a pup, my mom taught me the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Whenever I didn't know how to treat my siblings in my litter, I would just think about how I wanted to be treated and do that.
He was friends with a Persian cat named Cupcake, and she tolerated him, as cats do.
Carl, what are you doing today while the food givers are at work?
Today is Random Act of Puppy Kindness Day, and I'm going to do randomly kind things for all our roommates.
That sounds interesting. Who are you going to start with?
I'm going to give Jeannie one of my bones.
You're going to give Jeannie, the rabbit, one of your bones?
Oh, yes. Bones are my favorite. She'll love it.
And off he went before Cupcake could say another word.
Dogs.
Sometime later, Carl came back, dejected.
What's wrong, Carl?
Jeannie didn't like the bone at all. She even thumped her feet at me, and she was so mad.
I wonder why.
It is a great mystery. I guess she's just in a bad mood. I always love bones.
Maybe treats aren't the best view. Maybe treats aren't the best vehicle for cross-species bonding.
Maybe you're right. I'll try a toy next time. I'm going to give Scales my very best tennis ball. It's going to be hard to part with it since I love it so much, but it'd be worth it to make Scales happy.
Scales the snake.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to play with Scales. He'll just love chasing after the ball.
Carl, how is Scales going to chase the ball?
Well, with his legs.
His legs. Ooh. His legs, Carl.
Yeah, that's how chasing the ball works, Cupcake.
Carl, does Scales the snakes have legs?
Oh, okay. Yes, that's how chasing the ball works. I told you. Oh, you said it again. Oh, wait. Oh, he doesn't have legs. I guess he doesn't.
Do you think that if you wanted to play with Scales, that maybe you should ask him how he wants to play?
Carl blinked at Cupcake and then moved off at a slower pace, deep in thought. Carl was gone for a long time, which gave Cupcake a chance to catch up on her Sudoku. But eventually, he came back.
It's a thing with numbers. Oh, hey, Carl. How'd things go with Scales?
Oh, Cupcake, it was great. I asked Scales if he wanted to play, and he said yes. So I asked him how, and he said it was a sunny spot in the yard that he never gets to visit because it's too far away for him. So he got on my back, and I took him in the yard, and we basked in the sun.
You basked?
Oh, yes, it was the best, nice and warm, and I even rolled on my back and felt the sun on my belly, and Scales loved it.
Well, gosh, Carl, I think I might be a little jealous. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, that went so well and gave me another idea. So when I brought Scales back to the terrarium, I stopped by Jeannie the rabbit's hutch and apologized for the bone mishap and asked what she wanted.
Really? What did you want?
Clover. Honestly, I tried some, and I'm not a fan, but Jeannie liked it, and that's the important thing.
Sounds like you learned something today.
Yeah. When I was a puppy, the golden rule, do unto others as you want them to do to you, made a lot of sense, and it worked really well with everyone who were also puppies. But now, I have a lot of different friends who might need different things than I want.
Carl, you've discovered the platinum rule. Do others as they would have done to them.
Let's read that one again. Do to others as they would have you do to them. Oh, yeah.
Do to others as they would have.
I had to figure that out because
to them.
that means I have to ask them what they would like.
Which means I have to.
That's right. Oh, yours doesn't say that? Okay, well, that's right. That's right, Carl, you discovered. Okay, which means I have to ask them what they want, and then Cupcake says, that's right, now let's get some catnip. Try that line.
That's right. Now let's go get some catnip.
Cupcake?
Just kidding, Carl. I'm going to have some catnip. You can have whatever it is that dogs like.
The end.
Honestly, I don't like catnip.
Let's take a bow together. Ready? Ready? We're gonna take a bow. Ready? Yay! You don't like catnip. That's okay. Catnip likes you. Wow, that was fun. Fun. You guys are welcome to go downstairs for religious education. Wander as you may. Blessed is the path you take. May love guide you on your This is a time in the service that we set aside for meditation, for contemplation, for thought and centering. I invite people to get comfortable. Let's take a deep breath together. Whew, that was a lot of a skit. Okay. Whew, that was great. And now I would like to invite Layla up to read a poem. And then after the poem, we'll sit in a little bit of silence. And when the music starts, you're invited to bring forward your joys and concerns to light candles.
Tremendous beauty. My beauty is so tremendous, it has to be edited out of magazines and movements, whitewashed from history, evacuated from sermons, schools, and streets, just to prove that it does not exist. This is by a Locke, a non-binary activist. My beauty is so tremendous that they try to confine it, build health and science gates around it. But my beauty, you can still peek through and see it. My beauty is so tremendous, there are no words for it. Or rather, the words, they are too ugly for my beauty. The men, they are too ugly for my beauty. My beauty is so tremendous, they had me believe so long it was not there. So when I finally found it here, in all of the places I was taught to hate, here, in all of the curves and creases, bulges and breaches, here, in this body, not theirs, I finally figured out my beauty is so tremendous that the men, they have to kill me for it. But my beauty is so tremendous that it will still be there when I am gone. It will still be here when I am gone.
Beloveds, join me in a time of reflection and thought and intention. Surround all the joys and concerns that have been brought forth before this community with love, with beauty that is enough, and with a space that it can be held in warmth and welcome and safety. Let the practice of love in this space feed you throughout the week, and always know that your joys and your concerns and your everydayness is a sacred gift to this community. May it be so, and amen. And now let's get rowdy. A little special music coming up. The drum's not for sale. Oh, I'm in the way still? Oh, you're just messing with me? Okay. Okay, all right. So what year does this song come out? Do you all know? Oh, I got to switch the clicker. 90-something. All right. 93? All right. Early 90s. So that puts me at like 20-ish and in the car with the windows down singing this at the top of my lungs. So if you know this song, I bet they'd love for you to sing along. Not as loud as I will, but I'll be back here.
25 years of my life is still trying to get up this great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that what was made up of this brotherhood of man, or whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head, and I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake up in the morning, I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I dream the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Then I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Oh, 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 Then I try. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution. Then I pray. Oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day for a revolution. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. Now I'm feeling a little peculiar. And I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I dream the top of my lungs, what's going on? I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Oh. 25 years of my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination.
What? Yes.
Thank you.
Encore, encore, encore. That's not fair. Now I have to preach. You guys. We've got to shuffle our papers again. I covered up the lyrics. So, in the 90s, there was a code word that many people in queer communities knew, and the code word was very simple. We all know it. It was the word welcome. If you were specifically using the word welcome, you were specifically welcoming the queer community into your spaces. And as you can imagine, in Unitarian Universalism, where we believe in an authentic path into who we are and exploring our beliefs and our trueness, there were some queer folks in our midst, and we didn't quite, despite our best intentions, know how that word welcome worked. And so there was a campaign to start welcoming congregations, and I was privileged enough that one of the founders of that campaign is somebody I know very well and is very dear to my heart, the Reverend Meg Riley, and I drop her name all the time because that's my mentor. And so when I was exploring this subject of what welcoming meant in Unitarian Universalism, I was looking at the history and the systems that Unitarian Universalism seems to go through over and over again. If we need to change, but we kind of resist it, we don't really want to do it, and then we mess it up, and then we go back. Nah. Oh, Rich, he's seen that pattern. And so when I called Meg, I was like, I'm so curious. Was developing welcoming congregations like our work now to counter white supremacy in our governance and in our ministry and how we do our work? And she said no. And I was like, wait a minute. That's what I assumed. I assumed it was a struggle. She said, no, it was different than that. And I said, I really need you to explain it. And Meg is blunter than I am, if you can imagine. And Meg said to me, my family's generational money didn't come from queer people enslaved in the United States. It's different. It is intersectional. Being queer is something that we work on. When they began it, it wasn't a situation that we're in right now where people are losing health care. Rights were being gained, not lost. And when the Defense for Marriage Act got things all riled up, the only thing that we suffered as a community was many ministers relinquished doing any kind of marriage ceremony till marriage equality was passed. So if we suffered at all, it was we had to find a different officiant during that time period. I know people who didn't marry specifically until, even though it was a hetero couple, until after defense of marriage was passed. But during that time, people still needed to know where it was safe to be authentic. And so that word welcoming and welcoming congregations project was developed in the office of Gay and Lesbian Affairs at the UUA. I am sorry, that is the worst name for an office I have ever heard. It is so terrible in the 90s. So we learn about our language as we go, right? I'm like, I don't think that's the message we want to send people to welcome them in. So Meg was part of that work, and during that work, they created a curriculum for congregations to work on their implicit bias towards gay people, to work on their implicit bias towards lesbians, to work on how they were hiring and firing ministers, how they were welcoming folks into the congregation to participate, not to be guests. And it was a program for that specific purpose. And you see the rainbows everywhere, right? That is us growing up. Now we've changed the name, thank goodness, to Uplift. I'm very happy. But one of the things that was really interesting to me is I asked, and it was a little hard to track down, so I contacted Steve Hollingsworth when you can't find a fact around here, and asked what year did this congregation become a welcoming congregation? And their best recollection is 1994. That's kind of what they parsed out with a previous minister to figure it out. So that's the same time this song is out. That is a time when people are starting to hang rainbow flags. People are starting to, another code in businesses that we still use in Chattanooga, where a business with a rainbow flag is someplace where you can go and you know that you can buy things and people are going to sell you a wedding cake and whatever in that business. I was just in Ocean Springs, Mississippi 3 days ago. Well, no, yesterday. I don't even know. It's been a long weekend. And I was driving down the street, and my friend is riding with me, and she said, we're not going to go to that coffee shop. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to go there. She said, no one in town goes there anymore who's a local, because they closed during the Pride Festival, and we are collectively not going there. And she said the worst part is they were open during the Klan rally. So businesses can give us codes for, Mississippi. I told you that's where I was. Anyway, businesses give us codes. The rainbow flag is a code. Today, that bias has become a little more dangerous. that bias has become more dangerous. It's become more, we're going through a time where polarity is really in, and we really want the binary of what we believe and what we think people are. We're always trying to figure it out. Like, are you a liberal, or are you a conservative, or are you I don't know, a dog, Cupcake, or Carl? We like to put things in specific boxes, and when we do that, we find out very similarly what happened to Carl. You're so nice, and you're so aggressive about your love, and you're so excited to have people here that instead of giving them welcome and belonging, we give them a dog bone. And it doesn't always go over very well. I love the platinum rule. I think that is just a really helpful little thing to go to for me, because I have learned over and over again in this world that the minute I decide what someone else needs me to do so that they can have a better life, I need to question myself. I've said this many times. And certainty, ooh, be careful if you're certain your friend wants a dog bone. Just question that. Oh, my battery's low. All right, stop. Okay. So, welcoming congregations, 1994. That seems like a while ago, right? Do you think that the things we learned in this congregation in 1994 are still current and still up to date in the world the way it is today? You think that this is not the rainbow chalice of 1994, is it? This is a different symbol. Rainbows mean all kinds of things, my uncle would say. I have an 80-year-old uncle who will text me rainbows all day long, and it's very sweet. And he has no idea what that code means. He does it in an innocent, loving way, this 80-year-old farmer who drives a tractor. And he will send me something, and we like to laugh about it behind his back, I won't lie. We all enjoy getting a rainbow. But the other thing about him is he takes pictures of rainbows, and he's taking pictures, and he's noticing that around him. And I'm just always curious what happens the day he finds out. And so I found out what happened the day he found out. My uncle is not super tech savvy. He called Venmo Bimbo. Like, he doesn't get the difference. He doesn't understand the context of things. And when he found that out, he said, "That's cool." And I'll tell you what, that is not what I expected. And he continues to send rainbows and make young farm workers uncomfortable about his text messages. Welcoming congregations has evolved, and there is a process of recertification that we are supposed to do every year. Well, you know what you used to do when somebody tells them they're supposed to do something. We just pretend like it's not there. Yes, we are welcoming, but are we welcoming in 2023? Because that's a long time. That's 19 years. The way we welcome may be not following the platinum rule. Maybe we're focused on the golden rule. Maybe we're focused on our own identity and how our own identity might feel welcome here, and we don't think about the needs of other people. In welcoming renewal, there are 5 pillars. And I am very conscious every year to do the minister part of those 5 pillars. We might not do the other parts. So I want to tell you, this is not shaming people for not doing this. We're doing the work. We just probably need to do it a little bit more intentional. So the first thing you have to do, the 5 pillars of renewal, is become a welcoming congregation. Check. The second thing is have a welcoming worship service. Check, we did it, yay. Welcoming days of observance. I have a very important day of observance in my life, which is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. I have beloved family members who are transgender, so on November 20th, ironically Meg Riley's birthday, I know I had to drop that bomb, on November 20th, it is the Transgender Day of Remembrance, and here we will do a candlelit meditation, something that evening. It is traditional to say the names of women who have been murdered that year. And the number of women who've been murdered in the world who are transgender is startling. To say their name out loud is radical and welcoming to people who survive that. To call and pester our governor to welcome health care for people is part of that. During the 90s, I don't know if you all remember, there was a focus on the family values, blah, 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 and the queer community really was embattled with that, entrenched in battle. And I have noticed that that whole sentiment is coming back. It's another time of that. It's a time where specifically people who are transitioning or gender fluid or just don't quite know that day are no longer safe, I would say, in some spaces. That I will actually say, in some spaces are not safe. Not everybody has the good sense to lock their doors during the Pride Parade and just stay out of it. Some people engage in meanness and hatefulness. Some people would release records. Medical records have been released in Tennessee of transgender health care outside of the legal parameters so that Vanderbilt could be checked on to make sure they weren't giving health care to youth who were trans. That is not okay. It is not okay. The reason why it's not okay is, I never can remember the name of it, but you know, it feels like lately they're coming for us. I don't know what to say other than that. Like, first it was this, then it was that. I've seen women's rights lose ground. This has been a year where we have to practice our love and welcoming here in a way that is intentional and uncomfortable and gives us the space to change and transition into something different. Somebody who can love someone else no matter what in this space. A place where children can be accepted and learn that being who they are is actually sacred work. Think about that for a minute. No one in this room would tell a child they're not precious or sacred. No one would. And when we practice that here, we build our muscles up. We build our platinum rule muscles up, and we start thinking about what other people need to be welcome into this space. Spaces transition and change just like people do, and I would say that this place has evolved in membership and back and forth and how it welcomes, and we have to keep doing this work because it's so tempting to be comfortable. It's so much easier not for me to give up something so that everybody has something. I even remember the first time I came to a Unitarian Universalist church, and I'm from Scioto County, Ohio, so in my defense, I did not know at all, and maybe it's because it was a code, that welcome meant anything besides everybody. And I thought that rainbow was just everyone's color and everyone was welcome, and I didn't understand the context of why it was welcoming people. And when somebody said to me, we're going to have a meeting after church to see if we support justice around immigration. And I was like, you're what? I thought you were welcoming. I thought you meant everybody. I didn't know this was a specific code. But here's the deal. Everyone I know has a body. Everyone I've ever met is a person. Everybody is a sexual creature who goes through different transitions and different evolutions throughout our lives. And yes, every kind of person is queer. And when they have other oppressions in their lives, like having to migrate to survive, or having to be somewhere to make money as a sex worker, or having to live in a prison in an identity they don't believe, all those people, I don't get to decide what they need. But remember what Cupcake taught us today. We have to ask, We have to ask what people need. Has anybody seen the show Kim's Convenience? A little laughter. It's about, I got a big wave, yeah. Kim's Convenience is about a Korean family. Yeah, now I'm getting it wrong, but what I remember most about it is Kim's Convenience. It's the first one, and he's not very savvy to some of these codes that we have in our world. And so a drag queen is shopping in the convenience store, and he said, "What are you?" And I cringed. I was like, "Oh my gosh, where's this going?" And the woman like stood up and she said, he said, "Are you the gay?" He said, "The gay." And the woman stood up and was like, "I'm a drag queen." And he said, "Oh, good, we have gay discount this month." Like, it was so cool. It was so cool. And it was this story about this person who was in a new place, understanding our culture, really diving in and being curious about what people needed, so much so that he offered them a discount. And, of course, it's a comedy, so some guy's trying to pass as gay so he gets the discount. It's the bad canned laughter. But I love those little snippets of culture. Meg Riley also talks about walking in Vancouver, Canada, with her straight friend with the rainbow flags. And Meg Riley says to her friend, "Oh, I love this. I know what stores are okay for me to shop in." And her friend says, "Oh my gosh, I hate codes. It's so snotty. It's so insider, blah, blah, blah." But sometimes a code is what people need to survive. A code is what people need to understand that they are safe to express who they are. And the code of welcome does mean everyone, but specifically it means that you are welcome here to explore who you are. There's a formality to welcome. Welcome, be our guest. That works for a little while. It has to evolve into something that is mutual and relational and communal, in community. You can't be formal and inviting people with all these formal rules about having a guest for a really long time, or they're going to start feeling really awkward and leave. You can't stay someplace where the people around you aren't willing to be as uncomfortable as you were for coming through the door. You have to lean into it, and we do have a code here. Our code word is love. And if we can keep coming back to that, how shall I love people? How shall I care for them instead of I think you need? We can be welcoming and we can be willing to change. When we welcome someone, we change too. It can't just be they change to fit in here. Community means everyone together. Community means welcoming discomfort. Community means really amazing music, food, the word fellowship. And just think what happens when our welcome isn't specific enough and somebody leaves this place that was sacred and could have changed us in ways that make us understand love better and how we are loved. Next time you don't get what someone is, you don't have to be rude. You don't have to say, "What are you?" That was a TV show. I thought it was funny. But you can say, "Hey, where are you from? What's up? How are you doing? What kind of coffee do you like?" There are so many ways to get to know people and let go of our discomfort around pronouns and gender. Just don't try to figure it out. And here's my little word of wisdom for the day. If you don't love pronouns, don't say I don't love pronouns. Just go with it. It is more helpful that if you stumble through it than you try to announce how awkward it makes you feel and weird, because you're going to mess it up, because I do all the time. We're going to practice loving. We're going to practice welcoming people with what their needs are and not put our own needs or how we would like to be treated above all else. I think it would be great to update our welcoming congregations. I think it would be really neat to do that every year, and it isn't as hard as some of us think. The only thing on this list, we're only not doing one thing. All we have to do is some religious education around welcoming once a year. And the next thing we would do is pick a specifically queer project to support with our Share the Plate. And if we did that, we'd be there. So let's be there this year. Let's ask ourselves what's up with just pretending like this doesn't exist. Let's be good. Let's share the code of love with all of Chattanooga so that this can be a place where community can be something beyond our wildest dreams. May it be so. Oh. Oop. So your offering did something really amazing yesterday. And I like to tell people what I get to do as a minister sometimes, and how your support for me gives me opportunities to do things that scare me, that push me to love people I think I know what they need. I visited Holman Prison yesterday in Alabama. I visited a young man on death row named Jordan Cricky. And Jordan and I have known each other for about 10 years. Jordan has been on death row for 12. He's 32 years old. He is brilliant and loving and smart. And to be with him yesterday filled me up. And the work of this congregation to spread love goes beyond, I am the representative. I'm a love cheerleader. Hey, everybody, you want to know what? I'm not saying this is completely on the up and up, but he watches our services. He knows about Unitarian Universalism. He said, you know that thing you said last week when I visited him He gives me so much and treats me so well. And the reason I'm bringing him up right now is because I'm very moved and kind of still in that. I made it in. I got kicked out. That's another story. I got kicked out of visitation, and I had to earn my way back, and then COVID happened, and I moved, and it's 6 hours away, blah, blah. But I want to tell you a story of a pickle really quickly. So when you give somebody something without an expectation of what will happen, sometimes you're really surprised. So think about this in the offering. This is a pickle story. So in the prison, you take a bag of quarters. That's all you're allowed to take in, and your ID, and that's it. You put all this money in the change machine, in the vending machines to get food to feed the folks you're visiting. And I accidentally pushed the button that made this pickle drop out. That was quite awkward to give someone. It was a very big pickle. Anyway, and it had juice in it, and it was, the kind, you've seen it in the gas station, I assume. I've never been tempted by that. But I could have given him $1 million. He savored every single bite. He drank the juice out of the bag. He put it on his hamburger. He gushed about it, the look of pleasure. So when you give something, even if it's accidentally, it can lead to such beauty and such gifts and such gratitude. And I have never in my life ever felt such gratitude from someone from a gift. And so when you're giving to this church, you're giving to him today, because you all helped me be down there this week. And my gratitude for that is unbounding. And I just want to say, no matter how much you have to give today, or even if it's nothing, the gratitude for that and where that money goes can be unexpected, and it can really solidify how love is the center of this community. And with that, the offering will be gratefully received. Please join me in our offertory response. We give these gifts freely, committed to our mission to care, create beloved community, awaken hearts and minds, resist injustice and act with compassion, embrace life and care for the earth. To this work, we dedicate our offerings. Now it's time for a really complicated song you don't know. I'm kidding. Please rise and embody our spirit for the closing hymn. We know this one. Are you playing this? Oh, all right. Let's get up and dance. Oh, so what? I need a volunteer. Uh-oh, not right now. Don't raise your hand yet. Listen to what you get into. I need a volunteer. I need a champion. A champion of renewing our welcoming congregation work. Somebody who can help me figure out the curriculum. Now, I promise you will not be a Carl if you are a straight human trying to do this. It gives you, again. We need to welcome people, and when we learn something new about welcoming, we usually learn a little something new about ourselves. This can be a joyful process that makes this place stand out amongst some really dark times in the world and in Chattanooga. So be thinking about, don't raise your hand because then you're stuck, but be thinking about, if you're the one, are you the champion for welcoming congregation renewal? Sandy Kurtz, I promise it's not as hard as Green Sanctuary. That has been some work right there. Like, that is some work. This is work too, but it is joyful, welcoming, important work in a time where folks are being turned away. And to be intentional and specific about who we're welcoming and how, and learning not to give people dog bones, we can grow together and invite people in to a new way of thinking, and then we all get to change and become better together. Because love will guide us, right? I would love to take a second about So What, and just a round of applause for the music today. Layla and the band, can we? And a round of applause for all of us for trying a hard song. Next time, when you're thinking of my sermon later and saying, she was telling me to be uncomfortable. Oh, I remember when that happened today. We can't grow without stretching ourselves, y'all. So let's keep stretching together and practicing loving in community. And with that, let's extinguish our chalice now, shall we? I think I lost the clicker. Can somebody click to the chalice extinguishing, please? Please join me in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but keep the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. I found the clicker. It was right behind me. It is announcement time. And there's some microphones. If you want to come up and kind of queue up if anyone has an announcement. Do you have an announcement? Anyone? Let's do a little announcement train. Come on, Judy. The announcement train. All right. Here's a microphone. There you go.
Good morning.
Aha. Everything must go.
Everything must go, exactly. Thanks to Leslie and several volunteers who came out yesterday. Christian, Sandy, I can't remember who else was here. James, blood
Stand
stuff.
up if you did it.
Many of you brought stuff. Very few of you actually came to buy stuff. So that's why it's all here for your opportunity to buy
Load
stuff
your cars
today.
up.
Load
Yeah.
your cars. You'll see suggested prices that we had yesterday, but make an offer. It just needs to go, whatever you want. And Christian will have the iPad. We can take a charge card or cash, and we'll help you bag it up and get it to your car as you need it. But thank you, everybody,
You
because
can
it
back
is a
right into
fundraiser
the sanctuary.
It is a fundraiser for the church, so keep that in mind as you're doing this piece of work. And thank you for putting up with seeing it all this morning.
It's
Thank you.
treasures.
All treasures. Thank you.
It distracts
I
them.
want to add 2 points to that. First, all of us are very minded that we don't become these terrible consumers. Here you can do the good things. All of those things already exist, and they just find a new owner so that they don't end up at some trash heap. So I'm going to challenge you, each of you, take 5 things for a gift exchange for your next birthday around for a fun gift or something that you might actually can use.
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa. Secret Santa. And I like that. And if you didn't hear on the recording, Christian's just talking about resale and reducing our impact on the environment by using this stuff and not getting it in a trash heap, but also just loving something that belonged to someone else is always cool. So I enjoy that. And everything must go. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Sally, pronouns she, her. I'm a member of the board, and I'm on the Religious Education Committee, which is doing so many cool stuff in the next couple weeks. So, first, today, there's gonna be pumpkin carving, pumpkin painting, snacks. It's gonna be awesome and very festive fall Halloween-y. Next week, we're doing a Halloween party. Wear your costumes. Everybody wear your costumes next Sunday, please. It's gonna be so much fun.
Wait
My
till you
name
see
is a
mine.
Strawberry. Specifically, the nursery is having a nursery Halloween party. That's going to start at 10:30, which is a little bit before service. It's going to be so cute. We have a parents' night out coming up. Yeah. That's going to be on November 10th. That's a Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Nursery's open too. Bring your kids. Leave them. Do whatever you want. And then you can come back for them. And that same night is also our Magic the Gathering, which is our teen event, which is the same time from 6 to 8. It's going to be awesome.
You can leave all your kids here.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing y'all, especially with those pumpkins today.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Brianne. I'm also a board member, and I just wanted to tell you guys about, pronouns she, her. And I also wanted to tell you guys about the quarterly council. We're going to have a quarterly council meeting on November 4th at 10 a.m. here at the church. So if you are a committee head, please plan to attend or select someone to attend, voluntold someone.
You're sounding like me. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'd love to have input. So thank you.
And just a little clarification, we have a new renter on Saturday, so we'll be meeting downstairs just so you don't come in here and are like, wah! So.
Good morning. I have 2 announcements for you today. One, next Sunday, we're also doing the Trick or Treat for Crafters. I know a lot of people brought their stuff in today. If you did not bring your stuff in today, but you have things you want to bring them anytime this week during regular office hours. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think 11 to 6. I will pick those things up at the end of the week. So if it didn't work out today, don't worry, you still have the rest of this week to do that. We'd love to have as wide a variety as possible. And when you're making your selections today, please start over here because we need to clear out this area, because next Sunday we are going to be having an ancestor altar in honor of Samhain, which is the pagan version of Halloween. There are also a number of faith traditions recognize those who have passed from this world around this time of year as we're kind of slowly sliding into the winter season. So that will be worked into the service somehow. There are 4 types of ancestors that you can acknowledge. One is ancestors of blood. Those are the people that you are directly related to or descended from. Ancestors of heart, those were people like your chosen family, very close friends, people that really just left their mark on you in life, in love. Ancestors of mind, teachers, guides, people who inspired you in life-changing ways. And then ancestors of spirit, those are people with whom you share a spiritual path, or people who lived and worshiped on this land before us. It can be a pet, it can be a place, anything. This is an opportunity for us to recognize what we have loved and what we have lost, and to let those spirits know we're still thinking of them. So we'll have a table set up over here. You can bring an object, a picture, a token of some kind to recognize those spirits next Sunday.
Good morning, everybody. Just a short question. What happens on the 4th Wednesday in the month? What?
Potluck.
What?
Potluck.
Potluck, 6 p.m. this Wednesday. Looking forward to see you all as you're doubling up your social calendars to go to all of these church events that were just announced to you.
More announcements. More potlucks.
I'm Elaine, and this is a good Sunday for welcoming. The first Sunday of November, the 5th, we are welcoming a newlywed couple in our community with a little reception after church. We want to welcome Tori and Layla in celebration of their marriage about 5 weeks ago. It will start right after the service, that Sunday, first Sunday of November, with good refreshments. So please stop and give your good wishes, a card, hugs, whatever. We would love to have you celebrate with all of us. Thank you.
Thanks for making them blush that much. That was they both disappeared for a second. Look around here. Look around. These are the people we needed all the time. We're what we were looking for. Practice love together. Go out and do good in the world. And in thinking about how you welcome people, be inspired by how you are welcomed here. With that, our service has ended. May our service to the world begin.